Although the new AMGs are faster and more powerful than ever, I can't help but feel that this once insane Mercedes tuner has become predictably boring. Well, if we exclude that F1 car for the road. Anyway, it didn't used to be that way. Hey guys, Stipe here with a list of the weirdest and craziest AMGs ever made. Let's go! R63 AMG. First one on the list is this thing, a vehicle that's less sure about its identity than an activist with a blue-dyed hair. Is it a van, or an MPV, or a crossover, or a luxury vehicle, or a muscle car? Well, who the hell knows? What is known, though, is that the R63 is the perfect example of AMG lunacy that I'm talking about here. Back in the mid-2000s, AMG had one of the greatest engines ever made at its disposal, the legendary, naturally aspirated 6.2-liter V8, also known as the M156. Plop that thing into any Mercedes and you'll create a hooligan with a serious anger management issue. Compact four doors, coupes, grand tourers, big SUVs, big luxury cars, and finally, whatever the R-Class is. Picture this, you had a big, luxurious, well-equipped road trip machine made for the mommy, daddy, and 5 kids, and then someone at AMG thought, yeah, what if we gave them 500 horses under the hood and the guns of Jericho instead of an exhaust? Well, I'll tell you what if. Mommy would take the kids away and leave your crazy ass faster than you can hit 60. She'll also hate you if you try to hit the top speed, which, by the way, is 170 miles per hour.
165.5 miles per hour.
Pretty good. But honey, X-A12 was constantly asking, are we there yet? By the way, only about 100 of these wonderfully stupid things were sold worldwide, and I can't even say that I'm surprised. Mitsubishi Galant, AMG. I'm sorry, what? Well, as it turns out, AMG wasn't so monogamous back in the 80s, when they were just an independent tuning house. Sure, they made a name for themselves by turning luxury Mercs into speed machines, but when Mitsubishi approached them with, hey, could you do a little something for us too? We'll pay you. Well, they didn't say no. First one on the operation table was an awesomely named Debonair Royale, which only received a body kit that's blockier than early Lara's Tatas. Nothing more to say about it, so let's get to the main course here. The AMG Galant, also known as the second best thing to ever come out of a German-Japanese team-up. What? Number 1 is the new Supra, you dicks. Anyway, it was only available in black with a deep dish spoiler that wraps around the entire trunk. AMG badges all over the place, and check out what they did under the hood. The legendary 4G63 2-liter engine got new pistons, camshafts, titanium valve springs, and other doodads that help it rev up to 8,000 RPMs and produce 170 naturally aspirated horses. It may not sound like much, but back then if you wanted more you had to turbocharge it, which is exactly what Mitsubishi did with the Rallybred VR4 version. Wait, that means an AMG is not the fastest Galant available. Weird, I know. It was also the only AMG ever made that has front-wheel drive only, and it's a Mitsubishi, an AMG Mitsubishi. I'll never get used to saying that. S-Class W140 AMG. I'll never understand the need for an AMG S-Class. You have a land yacht that's more luxurious than anything south of Rolls, and then you give it an aggressive kit, a big engine with an FU amount of power, and even a race timer.
Why?
So you can compare your lap times around the track? It's stupid, and before buyers prove them wrong, Mercedes thought so too. This is why the first ever AMG S, the S70, wasn't exactly an official model that you could just walk in and buy. On top of having a crazy amount of probably drug money, you had to know someone working for Mercedes who would recommend you as a buyer. AMG would then take the regular S600, which is so heavy and giganormous that people nicknamed it the Cathedral, bore the V12 engine from 6-liter to 7, give it some edgier bumpers, and that's it. Top speed limited to 300 kph or 187 miles per hour. But if that's not enough, you could, of course, always ask for more. How about that 7.3-liter V12 that was used in the CLK GTR Super Sport and later even in the Zonda? That's the OG S73, not what they're selling today. And it's so rare that you'll have an easier time finding a nude photo of the Pope than one of these bad boys. Speaking of rarity, there are also 10 wagon versions too, all made for and forever owned by the Sultan of Brunei. Money? Yeah, makes everything possible. The 6x6. If you need more proof that money can buy anything, then look no further than the AMG 6x6. It's the civilian version of the military version of what was a military vehicle in the first place. Wait, what? Although the G was originally developed for the army, it would later be offered to the plebs as well until it ended up being this, a highly capable, luxurious off-roader that hardly ever leaves the city and is mostly adored by girls. Certainly a change in the image was needed, and this is it. Okay, it doesn't have a machine gun, but it does have that AMG twin-turbo V8, which sounds like one. That hunk of an engine also helps the 6x6 go from 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds, despite weighing over 4 tons. That's faster than Ferraris, you know. However, the main thing here is still the number of wheels and everything about them, like these locking diff and tire pressure switches that completely ruin the hauteur of the otherwise luxurious interior. The sheer size is further exaggerated by the enormous wheel arches and the ability to drive clean over most goats. That wouldn't be possible without something called the portal axles. Unlike the regular ones, which go through the middle of the wheels, portals are positioned at the top, and that's what gives the 6x6 the highest ground clearance of any road vehicle. Great, if one day you end up driving on Mars. I guess.